So in this video, we're going to show you how to install the COD 2.2 functions for IGOR. Let's get started. I like to keep my COD functions in a separate folder. You can see we've got them here. There's the functions and the includes and the includes COD menus, the little IPF we use sometimes to open up our menus. And here we've got the new stuff. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of the old stuff. Let's select these three, and I'm just going to move them into another folder and save them in case I panic later when 2.2 gives me some problems and I'm desperate to get something done. So, but be sure that you clear away everything that's reminiscent of the older versions of COD, you know, the aliases and stuff like that. One of the big problems we've had in the past with upgrades is that IGOR finds the same function in two places, sometimes an old version, sometimes a new version, and it won't compile, it gives you errors, you get frustrated. So just try to clean everything out before you get started. Okay, so I've unzipped that zip file. Here we are. All right, there's 5 items, everything but the PDF. We want to just copy into wherever we store our functions. You notice now that there's this menu packages, which is, you're going to see how that works in a minute. I think you're going to like it. The 5th item is some notes on the release. And basically what this does, it's got a column for the names of the new functions. It's got the menus where you can find those functions and some notes on what they do or perhaps how to run them. Most of the videos have not been made yet, so Nina and I will get on that fairly soon. I wanted everybody, however, to be able to use these new functions. Most of them are fairly self-explanatory when you go to run them. I do believe we have videos for the mark disturbance and mask images, and maybe one for the matrix ages. Okay, now we've copied functions onto our hard drive, basically. Now we want to put some aliases in the right positions. So what I'm going to do is highlight all 4 of these. Now, some of you may not know the Mac trick, but if you hold down the Option and Command key at the same time and drag these guys somewhere else, you get aliases. Instead of, if you held down just the Option, you get a copy. So these are aliases. Now, where do they go? You want to go to your Documents folder. And in your Documents folder, you'll find Wave Metrics and IGOR Pro 8 user files. Okay, and I've got some aliases from older versions. And these would probably actually work as long as you run the older functions with older functions in the same location on your hard drive. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to get rid of these 3. Now I'm going to add the include folder and functions folder to user procedures. And then I'm going to take the include menus and put it into IGOR procedures and the menu packages as well. And there we go. You're all loaded. So let's see what happens when you start IGOR. And I'll play my ukulele, a little background music. Okay, the musical interlude is over. All right, so one of 2 things is going to happen. That's going to depend on whether you have auto-compile checked or not. In this case, auto-compile was not checked. So if we go up here and we say compile, we get our menus. If auto-compile is checked, when you open the experiment, these menus should automatically open. So these are your normal menus that you're used to, the COD functions, COD image, and COD data. But there's a new one called COD menus. And this is a menu of menus. So it replaces the problem of having to go and find your includes files folder and then finding the proper IPF file for the menu that you want. So let's say, this is how this works, let's say you want to load some data from Janus. You would find the Janus data loaders and you get the menu for Janus data loaders. And you could run the function. Of course, we're not going to run it. And when you're done loading the data that you want, you just go to the bottom of the menu and say you killed Janus data loaders. And works the same for any of the other menus. So that's it. If you encounter a bug, please contact me right away. If possible, we could Skype, or otherwise, just let me know what the problem is, and I'll try to fix it overnight. I'd really like to get this new version out and working and everybody happy so we can move on to some of the other functions that need upgrading and polishing. So that's it. Enjoy.